Welcome to your daily focus for January the 18th, 2021. My name is Tilly. This is Tarot with Tilly. Thank you. Thank you truly for all the positive, loving, supportive energy you send my way each and every day. I send it right back to you. You guys absolutely rock. The 18 energy today, the 18 energy is the inner us, okay? It's about looking inwardly and seeing how we can bring balance into our lives. Maybe that's in our routines, maybe that's in our health and well-being, maybe that's family, friends, community, job, um, or our heart, our compassion for ourselves, standing in our truth, standing in our values, standing in our belief. And taking a chance, seeing where we can take a risk on ourselves, seeing where we can bring something into being, birthing something from within rather than from the external around us. If we do the numerology of the day, it is a 15 energy. And that's where we get that aha moment, that epiphany, that revelation of where we seem to slip into our old habits, our old behaviors, causing us to repeat a path once more, finding ourselves in the same place that we were 6 months ago, a year ago. Maybe it's different faces, maybe it's a different environment, but it has the same theme. We find ourselves constantly in that spot. So pay attention and be aware of your actions, especially your mundane actions, those little actions that are kind of, automatic. We do them without thinking, and be more conscious and aware of those little things that you do that might be pulling you back into an old behavior, an old habit, one that you have been trying to move from, or you may see it for the first time ever. You may go, I do that all the time. I never realized that. It's like, you're talking to your buddies, and let's say you always seem to lose playing poker to these people, and especially this one person, and you're talking to them one day and they go, well, every time you hesitate or you're going to try and bluff or something, you touch your chin or something. I have a tell. I never knew I had a tell. So it's very much like witnessing that tell for yourself and realizing what you do that kind of pulls you back into what you were actually trying to step away from. 1 + 5 is a 6. So very much, it could be routine, our day-to-day mundane routines. It could be our health, our fitness, our well-being. Definitely it could be our relationships that we are working on today. Maybe you always want to, have something happen in the relationship. Have your partner keep this consciously aware, do this for you. And you get to a point where they're doing it, and then all of a sudden you slip into that bad behavior or that bad habit and allow them not to do those things for you. And then you get upset because they're not doing it anymore. It's those kind of things, but it's self-revelations. With the 18, it's not looking at the other person and how we need to fix them. It's more of looking at our internal and understanding where we can mend ourselves, where we can strengthen ourselves, where we can better ourselves, where we can let out that primal warrior and go in search of the opportunity, the adventure, the situation, the dream, the success that we see for ourselves. We have the sun in Aquarius, sun in Capricorn for the final day. It'll be in Aquarius tomorrow. No. Yes. Oh my goodness. Where is my mind? I'm still not feeling all that. I slept around the clock. I missed you guys on the weekend. I'm not going to do a reading if I can only do it at half energy. I don't think I would get the right message across to you. I don't think it would be fair to you because I'd be giving you words that might lead you down the wrong path. So I'd rather be silent and let you go back on maybe some of the other content that I have out there to move yourself forward. There's a lot of energy between the new moon and the eclipses that we just went through and the great conjunction. So there's a lot of energy to revisit that I know is going to lead you in the right direction. Moon is in Aries. So yeah, the sun is the last day of Capricorn. It'll be moving into Aquarius tomorrow, or the sun will be. The moon is in Aries, I think, by the time most of us wake up. So we will wake up wanting to go forward, wanting to trailblaze a path for ourselves, wanting to step into that new opportunity, create, stand in our own stand in our own truth, our independence, our self-confidence. Now, the one thing that I know is happening for sure this week is Mars and Uranus is coming together to conjunct in the sky in Taurus, and I think it'll be about 6 degrees when it's exact. So 6, once again, here we're talking about the 6 energy today. We should start feeling this energy if we're not already feeling it. And it's really, we may make a rash decision to jump into something, to do something, especially with this Aries moon. Be careful, okay? We want to take educated risks. We don't want to just see something and dive into it without thinking it through, without thinking of the aftermath, the consequences that might come as a result, okay? We don't want to put ourselves behind the 8 ball. We don't want to find ourselves in a situation that we didn't think through. So, and anything could happen. Anything could show up that would just make us jump into action. So really be conscious of that and really pull yourself back and stand in your own truth. Give it thought, give it contemplation before acting or speaking upon it. This, the death card shows up. What do we see here? We see ourselves sitting on a skull, actually, but we see we see our inner child over there sitting. Where are we? There's our, where are we? Camera, please. I don't know where we are. Our inner child, and we almost look like we're trying to figure out how to feel that freedom, how to feel that liberation, how to step in the new beginning. So we could feel very restless. We want this energy to step into. We want to start creating. We want to start birthing our ideas. Give it some kind of shape, form, reality, structure. So there's something that we need to let go of. There's this black cape. We're never going to feel free if we're sitting like that. In fact, they did. I know there's a scientific study out there where they asked people to stand in like the Superman pose for like 10 minutes, and then they were to go and gamble. I think it was they gave them so much money and they had to gamble or something, but it was just a test to see what they would do. And the other half they made sit all slouched like this for 10 minutes and really, almost in the fetal position, really for about 10 minutes. And then they went and gambled, and they found that not only did the people that stood in the Superman pose actually win, but they took more risk on themselves. They believed in themselves a little bit more. They had a little bit more confidence. Whereas the people that were like this didn't even really want to part with the money, didn't gamble it much. What they did gamble, they lost quickly. So it goes to show it's our energy, right? And how we use our energy. And if we're sitting there all curled up in this cloak with this sword, like, don't come near me, and playing out of fear and anxieties, that we won't feel that freedom, that liberation. So it's about releasing those fears. It's about releasing those anxieties, or at least coming to terms with them, seeing them for what they are, and allowing the emotion to flow through you. Okay, we don't want to bury the emotion inside of us. We want it to come in and go, right? So it's looking it in the eye and saying, okay, this is what it is in the present, or was in the past, but it isn't that way going forward. Going forward, this is happening in my life. And bring in that affirmation of what you want to be present in your life, rather than what you had, or what you are fearful about, or what you have anxieties about, sorrow about. Strong energy, the Judgment card. Haven't seen the Judgment card this year yet for our dailies, I don't think. The Judgment card is one that says, okay, so have you been working towards your goals, your dreams? Where has your focus been? Because that's what's going to be coming into your life. So if you've been putting your focus on fears and anxieties, guess what's going to keep coming in for you? More fear, more anxiety. You're inviting it in. But if you've been putting your focus on growing a relationship, growing your spirituality, bettering your health and well-being, growing your money, growing your stature in the community, whatever it is that you have been putting your focus on and really working hard at it, this is when the rewards come in. This is when you're lifted up, you're elevated up to the next level of your journey, of your path forward. This is a card to say what it's time to look at are your behaviors and your patterns. So it's very much about looking at your behaviors and your patterns, especially today, if not throughout this week, and understanding where you fall into those same little traps that you have been unaware of, because it's your subconscious. It's like how you wake up in the morning. It's how you brush your teeth. It's how you put on your pants. It's, we do it the same way. It's very repetitious. We don't even think about doing it. Sometimes we can drive all the way to work and go, oh my gosh, I don't even remember the drive, because we're on automatic pilot. We can do that quite easily as human beings. This is about becoming conscious. This is about saying, okay, I want to do this, but this always drags me away. So now what should I do different? Maybe I'll put that on the back burner, or maybe I'll say, you know what, I'm going to set a timer at 3 o'clock. I'm going to look at that for 20 minutes, and then that's going to have my energy and time, so I don't have to worry about it till 3 o'clock. When that alarm goes off, I'll worry about it, and I'll give it 20 minutes of my time. When you start doing those things and start organizing your thoughts and your unconscious thoughts into conscious thoughts, you won't have those little worries. You won't have those little nags. You won't have, if you're trying to finish that spreadsheet or that email or whatever it might be that you're trying to do, that nagging thought will probably stay out of your head, and that alarm will go off, and you can give it your time and energy. And you know what? You're more centered when you do. So you're going to come up with the right decisions the first time around. We have the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is having a trust and a belief in yourself and God, your angels, your spirit guides, to know that you will be going down the right path. This is a beautiful night because this knight has no armor, no weapons. We hold our abundance in front of us. And it almost, in my eyes, this card symbolizes that nobody can take the abundance that is awaiting for you, or what you already have, away from you. That's yours. The only time somebody can do that is if you allow it. And that goes for your energy, your time, your resources. So maybe we are seeing of where we give away our energy or our time or our resources. Maybe we're working more towards somebody else's agenda. We get caught up in the energy that they are creating, and we kind of lose sight of the energy that we need to create for ourselves. And it's okay to help others, but you need to take care of you as well. And you should be first on the priority list, and that's not ego. That's a healthy ego, if nothing else. So this is having a belief in yourself, a trust in yourself, that your intuition and your sage wisdom will lead you down the right path, so long as you start going down the path. Okay, we'll get our mystical wisdom cards out here. What a beautiful deck. It was gifted to me with my COVID. Oh, I said the word. It was gifted by a viewer. And it had to go into quarantine before it could come to me. So it was a wait, but well worth the wait. And I love the mantras. Intuition, trust your intuition. I love how it all goes together. Trust your intuition. Okay? If you don't feel something is right, chances are you're absolutely right. And if you think something's a little off, chances are it's off. If you feel like, wow, that's a great opportunity, before you allow the but to come in, know that your intuition is saying you need to look at this. You need to research it. You need to go for it. You need to try it. You need to think about it, research it. Don't just dismiss it. So trust that intuition. Believe in your intuition. Gain strength in your intuition to lead you in the right directions. And the mantra is, I trust my intuition to guide me in all areas of my life. So, your intuition is a divine intelligence guiding you in all ways. In your thoughts, in your words, in your dreams, in your deeds. And everybody has intuitive abilities. Put it into practice, especially when facing challenges. You may experience this as a gut feeling or a hunch. And that could be very accurate indicators of the right choices for you. Practicing and exercising your intuitive abilities can strengthen these gifts. It's like everything else. It's a muscle that needs to be worked. Okay, if you've never really listened to your intuition or had problems, do you think hearing your intuition properly, that it's led you astray? Usually that's when we bargain, right? Because we hear something and then we, especially when you're praying or you're asking for something and you hear, okay, well, I'll do anything. And you hear this and you're like, ugh, I don't want to do that. Then your ego will jump in because your ego knows that you want it. So your ego will say, what if you do this? And you're like, yeah, I'll do that. And then you can't figure out why it didn't happen. We can't barter with God or angels or spirit guides. My goodness. So your intuition will tell you what steps to take. Our free will stands in the way sometimes of us actually stepping in the direction our intuition is telling us to actually step into. So I trust in my intuition to guide me in all areas of my life. We'll get a little animal card here. Goodness. They all wanted to jump out. Okay. They're getting a little rowdy, so I'm going to cut the cards. And who do we have? Look at this. Clarity with the bat. So clarity comes in. Oh, yes. Oh, there's angelfish. I must have went too far. There's bat. So hidden fears, open mind. So once again, we're being conscious of our unconscious actions right now. So hidden fears, open mind, heart and soul, trust and passion. Clarity of mind means clarity of passion too. That's why the great and clear minds love ardently and sees distinctly what it loves. So many are afraid of bats. They often fly in sporadic fashions, never knowing where they will swoop. Instead of relying on their sight, they use their senses. The main one being their hearing. If you've chosen bat, you are being told that the clarity that you seek has to be sought in a different way. Bat offers you the clarity to see around you what may be hidden. Now is the time for you to look at your life subjectively. See where you can add positive and passionate changes. You might sign up for a class, start a new creative project, finish one you started way back when. Is it possible that you are neglecting communicating with those who love you? And you weren't even aware of it. Maybe you've been acting as a hermit. You didn't even realize it. Call your friends, plan a fun night out, release old fears, anxieties. You can write down your fears one by one on a piece of paper. After you complete the task, take the paper out and say aloud, I release, and insert your fear there. Then either rip up the piece of paper or burn it in a fireproof container, allowing the universe to take care of all that is holding you back. And a beautiful thing to do during new moons and full moon energy, but I think it'll work just about any time. Find a moving piece of water, like a stream or something, if you can, to wash those ashes away, to allow it to flow away from you. So clarity can come in. We can start to see where we have fallen back into our own little traps of bad behaviors, bad habits, things that don't allow us to progress after a certain point. We seem to digress then back again for some reason. And this isn't everybody, but it's usually in some part of our life, right? Either in relationships where you kind of had that line in the sand, and then you allowed it to get a little hazy and you don't know how to pull it back in because it's not what you like. Or maybe it's working towards bringing back your own power. I kind of get that primal energy, that primal power, and I know it's Mars that's being coming conjunct with Uranus, but I get I keep saying the Pluto, so it's our inner warrior. It's our primal energy. And we need to embrace and trust in who we are and allow that warrior to move us into those educated risks, those new opportunities, those new adventures. And by paying attention to our intuition, we get the clarity and understanding that we need to make the right choices the first time around. Until we meet again, remember, I do love you.